Am I the asshole for filing a criminal trespass on a man who technically did nothing wrong? I, a 38-year-old woman, work for a small local nonprofit. I am the only employee in the office. A while back, I broke my foot and have only recently been released to full weight bearing while wearing my boot. Last week, an older man, about 70, came into the office asking about volunteering. I explained to him about our community service projects. Our next volunteer orientation required training and background checks. After about an hour, he left, and I figured I wouldn't see him again until next week at the orientation. The next morning, he came back. He began the conversation the same way as before, but quickly steered it in a much more personal direction. As politely as I could, I turned him down, but he remained persistent. Up to this point, he had remained on the other side of the window that separated me from the lobby. After turning down his offer, he came into my office and handed a card with his name and number. He stayed in my office, blocking me from my only way out. Not that I could escape if I wanted to, as I can hardly walk at the moment. Finally, I told him I needed to leave because I had an early lunch meeting, and then proceeded to shut down my computer to show him I was serious. He finally took the hint and left. It was still technically an hour before my lunch, but I could see him standing across the street at the apartments, watching. I ended up going to lunch early. I called the chairman of our board and explained what happened. He told me I could take the afternoon off and gave me his blessing to call the local police department and request they come by the office a few times over the next weeks to check on me. I called the police department non-emergency line with my request and explained the situation. Immediately after I told them the man's name, they put me in contact with the sergeant. And before I could tell the sergeant anything at all, he asked me if I was calling to press harassment charges also. I had not called with the intention of filing anything, and explained everything to the sergeant. He agreed I did not have enough for harassment charges. I asked if a patrol car could stop by a few times over the next week. He said that would not be a problem. Then he asked me if I wanted to file a criminal trespass. When I hesitated, he explained that with a criminal trespass, the man could be arrested if he came on the property again. He asked me once again if I wanted to file a criminal trespass. The way he asked made it seem more like a suggestion than a question. I agreed to filing a criminal trespass, and the sergeant told me he would inform the man and all I need to do is call if he shows back up in the office. So, am I the asshole for filing a criminal trespass on the man who gave me the creeps but technically had not done anything wrong?